Dear students, welcome to my class. So students, my today's class is for the student of class 9 and 10, and I'm going to teach you English first paper writing part. So from this class you are going to learn about what is a short story about a dog and its reflection, and you will get a moral lesson from the story. So students, our today's topic is story writing. So we will start today with what is a short story. So a short story is a short narrative that is written to entertain and sometimes bring a message to the reader. So a short story is very brief and precise. One of the main purpose of writing a short story is to entertain the readers, and it also gives a moral or message to the readers. Now, all stories are based on a struggle, conflict. The author tries to resolve climax. So, students, the struggle of the story is known as conflict, and the writer always tries to solve the conflict, which is known as climax. By its nature, short stories are concise and focus on a few elements: character, conflict, description, setting, plot. So, if I explain the last line, then short story will be very brief or short, and character, conflict, description, setting, plot are the main elements of an ideal short story. So dear students, you are watching an image that shows a dog with a bone in its mouth is seeing its own reflection in the water of the river. So students, I hope you have already got the name of the story, and that is The Dog and the Shadow. Now we are going to our story. So once upon a time, a dog that had a nice juicy bone in his mouth was crossing over a bridge. So if I explain the first line of the story, then one day a dog got a piece of meat or piece of bone, and he was very glad to have it and thought of a hearty meal at home that evening. So with a piece of bone, he was crossing over a bridge. Now, the next line, when he looked down in the water, he saw another dog that also had a juicy bone in his mouth. So when he was running, he looked down into the water and saw his own image. But he thought it was another dog with another piece of bone. Now, the third line or the next line of the story, he jumped into the water after his dog's bone, and fortunately losing the one in his mouth. So, if I explain the line, then, as the dog was very greedy, he wanted to have that piece of bone also. So he jumped into the stream or in the water of the river, and he found nothing in the stream. Now the next line. Soon enough the dog realized that this had been his reflection all along, and now, instead of two bones, he had none. So, after doing the foolish act, soon the dog realized that that was not another dog but his own reflection in the water of the stream. So, he lost his meal for his greediness. Now, instead of two bones, he had none. So, dear students, that's all for the story. Now, we are going to the moral of the story. Now, the moral of the story is, it is very foolish to be greedy. The dog lost the only bone he had due to his greed. So, the dog acted foolishly. Actually, its greed makes him foolish. The dog already had a piece of bone, but the dog did not resist its greed on another piece of bone. So he wanted the other piece of bone also. So because of its greediness, it lost its own. So dear students, we get a lesson from the story that it's really bad to be greedy. So students, that's all for my today's class. Please stay home and follow our classes. Thank you.